So here's a question. Have you ever wondered what would actually happen if you ate olives every single day? Not just olive oil in your cooking, but actual olives. Most of us have tried them on pizza or in a salad. But could this tiny Mediterranean fruit actually transform your health? Well, the science behind this is pretty fascinating, and some of the research might genuinely surprise you. Let me take you through what happens in your body when you make olives a daily habit. Backed by actual medical studies and real data, what happens when you eat olives every day? First, your heart gets a major upgrade. There was this massive Harvard study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology that followed over 92,000 people for 28 years. That's nearly 3 decades of data. What they found was that people consuming just half a tablespoon of olive oil daily had a 19% lower risk of death from any cause, compared to those who rarely consumed it. But here's what makes olives special. They're packed with monounsaturated fatty acids, particularly oleic acid, which makes up about 75% of their fat content. This isn't just any fat. Research shows that when you replace saturated fats with these monounsaturated fats, your LDL cholesterol drops. That's the bad cholesterol that clogs your arteries. At the same time, your HDL cholesterol increases. That's the good kind that actually helps clean out your arteries. The PREDIMED trial, which is one of the most comprehensive nutrition studies ever conducted in the Mediterranean region, showed that people who added extra virgin olive oil to their Mediterranean diet had significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease. We're talking about real protection against heart attacks and strokes, not just slightly better cholesterol numbers on a lab report. What happens when you eat olives every day? Second, your brain stays sharper longer. Now, let's talk about something that honestly keeps a lot of us up at night. As we get older, cognitive decline and dementia. This is where the research gets even more compelling. A study published in JAMA Network Open examined data from the Nurses' Health Study and found that people consuming more than 7 grams of olive oil daily had a 28% lower risk of dying from dementia compared to those who never or rarely consumed olive oil. Think about that for a second. A 28% reduction just from incorporating olive oil into your daily routine. But what's actually happening in your brain? Researchers at Temple University discovered something remarkable. When they studied mice consuming extra virgin olive oil, they found it activated something called autophagy in brain cells. Autophagy is essentially your brain's cleanup system. It breaks down and recycles damaged proteins and cellular debris. This process significantly reduced the formation of amyloid beta plaques and tau tangles, which are the hallmark signs of Alzheimer's disease. There was also a fascinating pilot study at Auburn University, where participants with mild cognitive impairment consumed olive oil daily for 6 months. Both extra virgin and refined olive oil improved clinical dementia ratings and behavioral scores. But here's the kicker: extra virgin olive oil actually improved the blood-brain barrier function. That's the protective shield that keeps toxins out of your brain. It also enhanced functional connectivity between different brain regions. One researcher noted that they found higher levels of dopamine in the urine after olive consumption, suggesting improved nerve cell function. Your brain is literally communicating better with itself. What happens when you eat olives every day? Third, your bones become stronger. Here's something most people don't realize. Olives might be one of your best defenses against osteoporosis. And this isn't just theoretical. There's solid evidence behind this. In Mediterranean countries, the rates of osteoporosis are significantly lower than in the rest of Europe. For years, researchers wondered why. A major study from the PREDIMED trial examined 870 participants, aged 55 to 80 over nearly 9 years. What they discovered was that high consumption of extra virgin olive oil was associated with a 51% lower risk of osteoporotic fractures. Animal studies have shown even more specific mechanisms. When researchers gave olive oil or olive polyphenols to rats with induced osteoporosis, they saw improvements in bone mineral density, bone strength, and bone turnover markers. The compound oleuropein, which is abundant in olives, appears to enhance the activity of osteoblasts. These are the cells that build new bone. At the same time, it reduces the formation of osteoclasts, the cells that break down bone. In one human study, postmenopausal women with osteopenia who took an olive extract for 12 months showed significantly increased levels of osteocalcin, which is a marker of bone formation. While their bone density declined in the placebo group, It remained stable in the olive extract group. If you're finding this information valuable, please hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people who could benefit from this research. What happens when you eat olives every day? Fourth, it can help lower your risk of diabetes. The research here is pretty clear and honestly quite hopeful. Studies have consistently shown that higher olive oil intake is inversely associated with type 2 diabetes risk. In one crossover trial, participants consuming 25 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil daily for 8 weeks showed reduced fasting plasma glucose and HbA1c levels. That's your average blood sugar over 3 months. They also showed lower levels of inflammatory compounds that contribute to insulin resistance. The PREDIMED trial found that diabetics assigned to a Mediterranean diet with extra virgin olive oil had a significant reduction in their need for glucose-lowering medication. We're talking about people potentially needing fewer pills to manage their condition simply by changing what they eat. The mechanism here involves reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which interfere with how your cells respond to insulin. When you reduce that inflammation, your body becomes better at using the insulin it produces. What happens when you eat olives every day? Fifth, it can help reduce inflammation. Here's something that ties all of this together. Inflammation, not the kind you get from a sprained ankle, but chronic low-level inflammation that damages your body over time. This type of inflammation is linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, arthritis, and even certain cancers. Olives are loaded with polyphenolic compounds. The most important one is hydroxytyrosol, which is one of the most powerful natural antioxidants discovered. These compounds don't just neutralize free radicals. They actually influence the genes that control inflammation in your body. Research shows that regular consumption of olive oil with high polyphenol content reduces markers of inflammation throughout the body. It improves the function of your endothelium, which is the lining of your blood vessels. This means better blood flow, lower blood pressure, and reduced risk of clots. The realistic picture. Now let me be completely honest with you. Eating olives isn't magic. You can't eat a Mediterranean diet supplemented with olives and then consume massive amounts of processed foods, added sugars, and expect miraculous results. The benefits come as part of an overall healthy dietary pattern. Also, not all olives are created equal. Black olives that come in cans from the grocery store? Many of those have been processed in ways that strip out the beneficial polyphenols. Look for naturally cured olives or extra virgin olive oil that's labeled as high in polyphenols. The sodium content in olives is something to watch, especially if you have high blood pressure. Most commercially available olives are preserved in brine, which means they're quite salty. Moderation matters here. How much should you actually eat? Based on the research, consuming about 1 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily, or roughly a handful of olives, seems to be the sweet spot. The Harvard study found benefits at just half a tablespoon per day, so even small amounts can make a difference. You can drizzle olive oil on salads, use it for cooking at lower temperatures, dip bread in it, the Mediterranean way, or simply eat a handful of olives as a snack. The key is consistency over time. Remember, these studies tracked people for years, sometimes decades. The bottom line, what we're seeing in study after study, is that olives and olive oil aren't just food. They're closer to functional medicine. The combination of healthy fats, powerful antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds creates a synergistic effect that protects multiple organ systems simultaneously. Your heart gets stronger, your brain stays sharper, your bones remain dense, your blood sugar stabilizes, your inflammation decreases. And according to that massive Harvard study, you might just live longer overall. The Mediterranean populations have known this intuitively for thousands of years. Now modern science is catching up and showing us exactly why this ancient food deserves a place in our daily diet. So next time you're at the grocery store, maybe grab some quality olives or a bottle of extra virgin olive oil. Your future self with a healthy heart, sharp mind, and strong bones will probably thank you. If this video taught you something new about the power of olives, consider subscribing to the channel. We break down the latest nutrition research into practical information you can actually use. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.